Good morning, sir. My name is Sumant, and I have chosen the topic as array data structures for my theory DA. And in this video, I'll be explaining about the array data structure and some functionalities of it, and the basic part how to create, initialize, and access the elements of the array. First, I'll be explaining you the theory part, and then I'll show you in my laptop the coding part. Starting with the introduction, array is an as we know that array is an object which contains elements of similar data type, and the elements are stored in a contiguous memory locations. Now let me explain you the advantage of storing the elements in an array rather than in normal variables. Suppose we store some let's say age of 20 members in 20 variables, and the memory locations of all the 20 people will be scattered and spread around. Like if suppose the one variable's address is at 4000, and the other will be at 6000, and the other will be at 8000, and so on. uh, it's just an example. And in suppose we store it in an array, and let's say we store 20 let's say we store the age of 20 people in an array. Then we declare an array of size 20, and store the ages of the numbers in that. And the memory locations will be 4 bytes apart, and the difference between each consecutive memory location will be 4 bytes, because the length of an integer is 4 bytes, so the difference will be 4 bytes. And while accessing the elements, the efficiency and easiness will be very good in arrays, because it takes very less time in searching the consecutive elements, because the address difference between two consecutive locations is very less. We can store only fixed number of elements in an array, and the array follows zero based indexing, which means suppose we declare an array of size 9. The indexing starts from 0 and ends at 8. So the last element of the array will be at 8th position, not 9. Array can contain primitive as well as non-primitive data types. For example, primitive data types are int, float, byte, etc. And for non-primitive, the objects of classes. Okay, so now let me show you the syntax for declaring an array. Uh, Syntax for declaring an array. The first way is to give the data type and the square bracket, then the variable name, and initialize it with the new keyword, then the data type of the array, and give a size of the array. This is the first way to do it. And the second way is to give the data type, then the variable name and square bracket, equate it to new initializer, and then the data type of the array and the size of the array. These are the two ways to declare an array, and these two are one dimension arrays. The structure of this will be in this way. As I said before, it will have it will have one row and multiple columns. And now let's see how to declare a two-dimensional array. First we give the data type, and since it has two dimensions, we give two brackets and a variable name, and initialize it with new keyword, and give the data type. Since it has two dimensions, we give the size of the two dimensions. This is for 2D array. And if it is 3D, we give data type first, and then 3 dimensions and the variable name, and initialize it with the new keyword, then the data type and size of the dimensions of each dimension. This is the syntax for declaring and initializing an array, whether it is 1D, 2D, or 3D. And now for accessing the elements of an array, now let me use for loop to show you how to access the elements. Suppose you want to access the elements of array A. Use the for loop, initialize the iterator with 0, which runs till the length of the array minus 1, and the increment gets incremented by 1 every time. And let's print it. Since the size of the array is 5, we get 5 elements here, and since I already said that the new keyword initializes all the elements of an array to 0, all the elements are 0 here. The elements of the array A are initialized to 0 because of the new keywords. Now let me show you how to take dynamic input from the user and then print the elements which we give the input. First of all, we have to import the methods from Java util function, and use scanner. I'm taking input of elements of the array. We use for loop, and here the we take input of each and every element through user, and then store it in the array, and from using for this for loop we access the elements of the same array. Let's run and take the input. Since the array size is 5, I'm giving 5 elements. Now let's see if it will take the input and print output through this for loop. As you can see, it took the input which I have given. Since the size of the array is 5, I have given 5 elements as input, and it has printed the 5 elements as output which I have given. And similarly we can do this for 2D and 3D array. Now let me show you for 2D array. Dimension of, since the number of rows here are 10, let's give this number of rows as 10, and the number of columns here we have declared as 20, so let us give this as 20, and let's take the input from user. C of I j is equals to sc dot next int. This is how we take the input for 2D array, and let's print a statement to let the user know that he is giving the input for 2D array. Let's comment this out, and here we print the contents of 2D array. Since 10 and 20 are very long, I am giving this 3 rows and 4 columns, or 3 rows and 3 columns. I'll change it here also. Let's not take the input for 1D array for now. Now let's run the code. Here it is asking the input for 2D array. As you can see, it is printing the output of 2D array which we gave the input. So this is how we perform the declaration, initializing, and accessing elements of an array. How to search for an element in an array, whether it is 1D, 2D, or 3D. Since we already have this 2D array, let's try in this 2D array. Suppose we want to search for, let's take the input from the user, which element we want to search. Enter the element to be searched. Now let's take the input. Here we are searching for the element x. So if we find the element x, then we print element found and break. Now let's see if it works. First we take some input for the 2D array. Since we have given it the size of 3 rows and 3 columns, let's give the input as it is. 10, 20, 30, 40, and 80, 99, and 11, 15, and 17. It's asking for the element to be searched. Let's enter 99, since we already given in this array. Let's see if it can search and find for us. See, it is showing that element is found, so the search code is working properly here. And if it is not found, let me declare a flag variable with initializing it to 0 to check whether it is found or not. If it is found, the flag value will be 1, and it will print this statement to the output. And if it is not, if flag is equal to 0, that means if it is not changed and did not come into this if condition, then means that the element is not found. So we can print element is not found. Let's try to do it again. It's asking the input, so let's give 10, 15, 25, 30, 40 and 70, 90, 50 and 35. It's asking for an element to be searched. Let's give an element which is not present in this 2D array. Let's give 100. Since the element is not present in this 2D array, it's printing element is not found. Let's try for another element. Now let's give the input as 55. It's showing the element is found. So the code for searching an element in an array is working fine. And we can do this for the same for 1D and multi-dimensional arrays also. And this is about creating, initializing, declaring and accessing elements from an array, and also the code for searching an element in a 2D array. The same we can do for a 1D array also. Hope you like my presentation. Thank you very much, sir.